Just finishing up a couple of preparation items here. And then I'll invite Bobby. Well, actually, I'll invite Bobby now. Hold on. And then I'll finish up my housekeeping items. One more thing, and then the housekeeping. Right. Okay, so let me just updating my projections here, and then I'll be able to get back with this. Okay, I'm missing that. But that's okay. Okay. One more. Then I should be updated. I see Bobby in there. Just give me a sec, then I'll see you. Okay. Hey, what's up, Bobby? I was just updating stuff for Houston. So I got to take a look and see what that looks like.
Yeah, I think we're going to want a starting lineup before we get too caught up in it. I can say real quickly, like, whether he starts or not, Nwaba is, I think, an interesting tournament play. He's going to actually have some pretty good ownership, probably.
Yeah. What about and here's another guy. Is what's his name out? Is Ayton out? Is that why McGee is popping?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Ayton's out. Trey's in.
Trey who?
Young.
That's really funny because somebody predicted that earlier today.
Well, I actually thought that when I looked at the line moved. But yeah, it was he had to pass one more COVID test, and now I just got a mess. I don't know what that alert said. Oh, what's up, K9 Bronco? What's up, guys out there? We're gonna try and get through this. Pop in the questions when you have them, because it's gonna be a little tricky on this slate, to be honest with you. And I'm still waiting for some projections to update. I would really like a starting lineup. It does make that first game seem a little more stackable. The problem is you're probably losing some leverage you could get later on if you get a Damian Lillard out before the 5 o'clock games or the 6 o'clock game. That's the only argument for not playing anybody on the Charlotte side.
Because did the Trae Young news just happen?
Yeah, about 10 minutes ago.
Oh, so so everything I've said up until now is completely irrelevant. So as usual.
So forget about Reddish for me. He's fine, like as a long shot, but like I don't think we need to play him at 5,800 with all the stuff we have out there. I do think Bogdanovich is still a good play. I actually don't think this is a bad thing for him necessarily. So I mean, it's not great, but like he's been missing shots while he's been handling. So playing alongside Trey, I think he still should have a pretty solid game, but I don't think you need to play any of those guys for Atlanta.
And what about Skylar Mays?
I didn't even consider him that much of a play anyway.
Okay.
I mean, he was fine. It's just there's just tons of value out there, but I'm actually going to make sure to go out there and manually. I don't even know if Skylar Mays might end up might play some minutes, and he might be a DNP-CD. So I wouldn't risk that. I pray just like if you're going to do the Skylar Mays thing, yeah, just switch to Josh Christopher. Even though I don't love that either, I want to see what happens. I do have one set of lineups with Christopher in it right now, a couple of them actually, but I'm going to try to hopefully get off that. What's up, Rashad? What's up, Steve L? So we're going to try to get to, the guys we do want to play. Guys I still really like, by the way. I still really like Nasir Little. I really like, I just mentioned that I think Nwaba is going to pop off in projections, but he can go one of two ways. It's a good game environment for a guy like him. But if he doesn't start, which I think is very possible, very likely actually, maybe that ownership drifts away a little bit. And he's been pretty good point per minute for the most part this year. He's not going to go out there shooting. He's going to do all the other things. But Charlotte is the kind of guy. It's the kind of matchup where he could do those things. Daniel Tice is going to look like a play. I would like to see him starting if I was going to play him. I think Sengun is a good tournament play. I think Christian Wood now is a great play along with Aaron Brooks. I'm actually surprised at the Aaron Brooks not popping a little bit higher even. I'm trying to figure out why that is. And let me just see real quick what I've got. I'm sorry, Armani Brooks, not Aaron Brooks. I'm going back 10 years. I do like Armani Brooks though. Like, he doesn't have to play all the minutes, but he probably will play a bunch of minutes. And we've seen that it can go multiple ways with him. But you take out Porter, because Porter and Green are not necessarily like they're not ruled out. They're available to play, but unlikely to play is what the ruling is. So we're gonna
okay.
But I think Armani Brooks, Nwaba, Christian Wood are all really solid plays for Houston. And I think that LaMelo is still a really good tournament play, as is Oubre, Hayward, and Rozier. But I don't think I'm going to end up getting to much of the other ones. I also like – go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, what do you think of Trae Young?
It's fine. I don't have anything exciting about it. It's not a good matchup. He's expensive. With him back, they actually have some bodies now. It's fine.
Okay.
I would rather play other guys. I mean, I'm going to play Jaylen Brown, and I would rather play LaMelo at a cheaper price, and I'd rather play, obviously Harden. Harden is the one guy I don't think I'm fading at all tonight.
You think you'll play 100 of him, you think?
On DraftKings, I currently have him at 100, and same on FanDuel. But I don't think I necessarily have to, maybe because of all this stuff. But with all this opening, I mean, we're supposed to spend it on the guys who are going to put up the biggest number. And sure, Trae might occasionally get there ahead of Harden tonight, but I don't think it's that. I don't think it's often enough quite. Yeah.
Look at some other guys out of Houston. So you, Christopher Brooks, you think Tice is a little thin?
I think he's okay. I think he needs to be starting.
What about Eric Gordon?
Yeah, it's interesting because I think he'll project well point per dollar, but will he play more than 30 minutes? They seem to just keep him in that range basically every game. Now he could take some shots in that time and maybe get a 40 game, but he probably has to shoot well to do it. So I don't really have like another guy at that exact price that I'm considering him versus, but there is other ways to build that I think I like better. But I do have a little bit of him.
Boy, this McGee is some projection I'm seeing. This is like ridiculous.
He should be. I mean, he's put up. What did he put up that one night? The first night that happened last time, he put up like 58 or something, or 40. I don't know what it was.
I got one place that's literally projecting him for 44 fantasy points. I mean, that's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah, I don't think that's a good median projection. I think the good median projection would be somewhere in the low 30s, probably.
Yeah, I would think, right?
Yeah, still a great play. I mean, he's been putting up. He's had plenty of games where Ayton's played where he's put up like 30. So he can definitely put up like 50. And Memphis, good pace game for him. So yeah. I heard some other shows talking about how now Ja is a better play because now they don't have rim protection. But I'm like, well, JaVale McGee is a rim protector just as much as DeAndre Ayton is, just because, anyway.
What about the other guys from Phoenix? What about the scorers?
I think Booker would be the one I would look to, and I think he's okay. How can we be way off the mark? We haven't even said anything yet. We don't even have the starting lineup yet.
I got plenty of time to be off the mark.
Yeah, there's no way we could be off the mark. We haven't said anything.
There's no mark. We're
going to go through. Kevin Wise says Aaron Brooks may be back in the NBA soon. You never know. It's pretty funny. It's actually a good point. Good evening, Sensei Jay. What's up, Dunbar? And Brian Brooks asked if McDaniels is still from Charlotte is still viable. Viable, yes. Priority, probably not. But viable for sure. So I would love to hear this DFS genius. So it's this is another trolling thing here, because it's just that thing. What did we say specifically that was off the mark? I would love to actually engage in this because I don't know what we said that was off the mark. What would we say that was off the mark? What? No, say what we did. Say what it is.
Possible. I want to learn.
Yeah, I would love to know what was off the mark to teach us DFS genius, teach us. Really wanted to come in here, guys. Having made $1 million yesterday, came real close, but didn't quite get there. And I am currently in a wait and see mode, and I really want some starting lineups. And I think that we're gonna have to wait on some news, or we're not gonna wait on some news. We're gonna have to. The Lillard thing is frustrating because you don't really have like switchability if you do play him. I'm sorry, if you do try to play around him. And I think he's actually a good play. But you'd have to play a lot of guys in the later games other than just Harden. You'd have to try and find other thinner value, and then you could switch it over to guys like Anthony Simons, Norman Powell. Nasir Little becomes an even better play, who I do like anyway.
I was really close to winning the million in the NFL. I just won 5x5 away, and I was just right there.
I was really there though, Sheets. I was one play, one guy. No, dude. Say what your plays are. Really, seriously, tell us what we're way off with, because you came in and within a minute, and we're going through the injury plays, and you told me we were way off the mark. So what are we way off the mark of?
I literally haven't given an opinion yet. I'm busy working on my spreadsheets. I literally said nothing.
All right, I'm still trying to get some information here. I really think this Lillard thing is frustrating because that obviously I would want the Simons Little.
Well, and part of what makes it frustrating is, as I mentioned earlier, it's like out maybe for personal reasons. I would imagine is something that you would know by now.
I don't know about that though. It's hard.
No?
It's hard to find that out there. I did some digging, and I didn't come up with anything that was concrete of any kind. It was just all speculation. People don't even know.
Any good speculation worth mentioning or not?
No, nothing. Everything that just led in different directions. It was different all over the place. All right.
What do you think of back to Charlotte for a minute? Well, let's get to Charlotte for a minute. You like Terry Rozier at all?
These are fine, but like it's an early game, and they're not like my plays. Like they're just not. Sure, of course he could get hot. Like it's a great matchup for everybody on their side. Like Hayward. The problem is he also takes up a guard spot, which you'll look at. When you see the guards, it's not quite as much needing to play as many that you need to play as we had earlier, because Bogdanovich was going to be a hard fade. And then you want to play McGee and or Knight in your lineup, so
right.
It's kind of tricky to prioritize him. Even Aaron Brooks, I like Beasley better. I mean, Beasley's going to take a lot more shots. He's also in a later game, which again, more flexibility. And look, Terry Rozier could always just go out there and have that game. There's no reason for, other than the fact that it's a good matchup, when you have Minnesota basically with none of their guys. It's just such a better spot for Beasley than it is Rozier. So that's what I would be doing.
Yeah. Let me see this. McGee again. Powell. Yeah, I like putting off the stuff until the Portland, not the Portland game. You know what I mean? I like leaving myself some room for that Portland game in case what's his name doesn't play.
Who'd you say?
I'd like to leave myself some room for the late game.
Yeah, it's just hard to do.
It is.
Like, what are you going to do if you play Lillard and fade Harden? Like, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I honestly can't figure out a way. I tried to mess around with some builds, and it's really tricky to do. Now, if you find it out, you could try to backload to the 5 o'clock or the 8 o'clock Eastern games, and that's a possibility. It's one way to go. but it is it's really weird. Okay. I do think I'm going to maybe fade Harden in a couple lineups. I don't think I need to play 100%, but I am going to play him a lot. You guys, we like to keep things positive, so we might have to block this, even though he's not saying anything, even though you're not being nasty or whatever. But we might have to just like mute you or something because we don't want you talking crap to everybody in our Discord, and especially because you didn't do the one thing that was saying how off we were, but you didn't say about anything about what, which definitely feels trollish. So, anyway.
Remember that one time I poofed that guy and it was like I made a mistake? Doesn't happen too often.
What did you do?
Remember I got rid of some guy. I thought he was trolling, but he was really being sincere or something like that.
Yeah, no, I know. But this, I mean, look, say what we're wrong about. I'm happy to have a real conversation, but to just come in and say you're way off and you're, idiot, whatever. Like every day we get these, weird RPS guys who just like to come in and troll. And I just have no idea. Like, if you're gonna make a statement, then say with what it is. Like, say what your take is then that you disagree with. Oh, there they go. There he goes. The meth thing. I don't know where the meth thing came from. It's really hilarious to me. Like, I'm the last person because I talk fast. Is that what it is? I don't do anything and haven't done anything. Doesn't come out of the ground. I don't even smoke weed anymore. I'm really lame these days, guys. Oh, good. He's actually referring to RPS. Sheets, will you do me a favor and ban that guy though?
Can you give me a sec? I will. 100% will. Just give me.
I just can't do it from while you're doing it. But guys, ask some real questions. Get this idiot out of here.
I will. I just have to.
He's not saying anything, and he's just trying to be like antagonistic and really just disgusting person.
Well, we don't want that.
No, you're definitely banned, buddy.
Yeah,
and you're being reported.
Oh, there it is. Who do we report him to, by the way?
If he's reporting YouTube, he won't be able to watch his other beloved RPS stuff.
That's like the worst. Man.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do?
All right. Let me go on there. So who's it? Who's it? The DFS Genius? That one? Okay.
Yep. But I would like to talk more basketball. So the guys I'm spending up on, obviously I mentioned Harden. I do like Booker. But I think Brown is the second preferred spend up. I like LaMelo. I still like Bogdanovich, and I think everybody will come off of him. And I think he's actually a viable play at 5K, like him versus Eric Gordon. I think I would take Bogdanovich. Actually, it's pretty close, but I kind of like the idea that everybody will jump right off of him. I like Christian Wood as a mid-range spend up. And then I like Porzingis a little bit. Like, I think I have 15% of him. I really liked Keldon Johnson coming into tonight, but it's getting harder and harder to play him with all this other stuff. Keldon Johnson has put up like 30. What does he put up? 32 or more in 6 straight games. He's been, I think it's 5 straight games actually, but he's been really, really good. Patrick Beverly ruled out. Josh Okogie available to play. Okay, great.
What?
Oh boy. So we need some starting lineups for sure. The Clippers are interesting because I think that they're viable, but I think that Bledsoe is the most viable. I think that's more of a fan. I'm playing more on FanDuel. Just worked out that way. But I think Bledsoe is completely viable for sure. Is Nathan Knight a good play on FanDuel? I think he is. If he's got to be starting for me, but he doesn't have to be starting. But he's a much better play, obviously, if he's starting. And right now, I'm projecting him to start. And especially you take another body away with Beverly. I think Jalen Noel is going to be the guy who's going to start popping, and I think that we should probably get ahead of people on that one. So Jalen Noel probably ahead of Kobe White right now, assuming that he can maybe take up, even if he doesn't start. I'd rather him starting, but if he could take up some of that Beverly role, that's kind of interesting. Other guys who I was on earlier who I'm not anymore, Peyton Pritchard, even though I think it's viable, it's a little bit reaching to me now. I don't think you need to do that. So yeah, that's the way I'm treating this stuff. And no, we don't need Reddish, Harden, Brown, and those are good questions though. I like the specific guys. I can only talk. It's harder. It's much easier for me to talk about spend ups until we get some news on who's starting for Houston, because I do think that whoever's starting, and then also we can also pivot in funny places if we want to play one of these guys who's not starting. Like Nwaba would be an example of a guy who, if he doesn't start, I still will have some interest in him. And if he does start, I'll probably want to fade him because he'll probably be very highly owned. One thing you could do to sort of hedge a little bit with the later thing is you could play Norman Powell, who can definitely get there anyway. but I don't know if I want to do that.
But you want him, yeah. Because I have him in one of my placeholders right now.
Yeah. But all these games feel pretty stackable, to be honest. I think JaVale is the one I'm going to stick with, and it's going to not work out one of these times with JaVale, but I'm just going to keep riding it.
Yeah, they haven't not worked out yet.
Yeah, it's worked out basically every time beautifully. And by the way, we probably should have been playing him some of the times when he was on the bench. He just keeps putting up 30s, but he's going to be 1,000,000% owned, so not as exciting of a play. So JaVale and Knight are currently my preferred value plays, but that is definitely subject to change once we see the starting lineups.
And I'm doing this without even looking at all. Is Frank Kaminsky still on Phoenix?
I don't know where. I mean, he's not on the whatever the active.
He's not on the list. Okay, because what team was he on? He got there a couple of times this year when he wasn't expected to or something.
No, he was on Phoenix. I mean, before. I don't think that was this year. I think it was last year, but maybe it was this year. Either way, totally irrelevant because he's not playing.
Okay.
He's still on Phoenix, but he just doesn't play.
Yeah, the only guy that this doesn't. Oh my! Look at all these players that are popping like this. Ugh, good grief. Josh Christopher, like you said. What about the other one? What about John Concher?
I actually think there's a ceiling for Concher,
Okay.
but I don't love the play. Like, I just think that there's too much of the time it's him doing nothing. We're counting on him for like rebounds and stuff. Like, he had 14 rebounds in the last game. It's kind of hard to ask for that again. But I mean, look, he's one of the guys. Another one is like Jalen Smith does get minutes over. I mean, we'll semi-split minutes with McGee, and he's viable if you're not going to play McGee. And he's 3K flat.
I want to give these guys one update here.
In fact, Jalen Smith with McGee is probably like a little too reachy, but like it is kind of interesting to play Jalen Smith instead of McGee. I think that's actually a viable route to take a shot, you know. And even if McGee's 35, Smith can get 28 or 30, and he's minimum cost. We saw that. We've already seen that so far this year between those two. All right.
What do you think the impact of Beverly being out is? You were saying that we should have him play Noel would be the guy?
Noel, I think Noel is going to be the guy, but I'm not 100% on that. Like, you know, we saw that they sort of have been hesitant to start him when we've seen this situation happen before. They've started Bolmero. They've also got McLaughlin back. So it's not like a smash play, but I think at low ownership, if it stays low owned, I think he's a very interesting tournament play.
And when do they get? When is that game? When's the Beverly game?
That game is at 8 Eastern.
All right. And the Lillard's game's not till later, right?
10 Eastern.
Okay.
Hey, no problem. Somebody said they disagree with their opinion. No problem. I was into the Joe Ingles thing before. I just don't see the value in it. I think on FanDuel, maybe it's a little bit of a different build, so you can maybe argue that he's more viable over there. But I don't. You know, we want ceilings, and it's a little harder for him to hit his ceiling, especially the way he moves now. He doesn't really like. He's not quite the same guy that he was. Now he can still get hot and have a good game, and they can run stuff through him. He's played well with Mitchell out in the past. He's played really well with Conley out in the past, especially. But I don't think that you need to I mean, I personally would have Nwaba ahead of him, but I think I mean, look, if you want to play Ingles, I don't think there's anything crazy wrong with that.
No, I mean,
just feels like we've got guys who are in the 3Ks who are some of them are going to 10x or 8x or 9x, and Ingles could get there with like a 6x or something, and just feels like maybe we're leaving something on the table.
Yeah, he's only 3,900.
What's not right about McGee? No, it's okay. No problem. I don't know what you mean about not being right about McGee. I just said McGee's a really good play. If you don't want to play him, don't play him. No problem. No Horford for me. Luke asked. I get it. He's been. I mean, it's been pretty terrible. But I get needing a power forward. I'm guessing that's why you're asking the question because I've run into some builds like that.
Who did you say, Horford?
Yeah.
I mean,
No worries,
I don't mind getting to him. You know what I mean? Like if that's the way it goes. I mean,
yeah, it's someone who's definitely trying. He came in and started asking how big our whatevers are. Just something we don't really need to address and probably should be should be blocked too. But I just don't really. Just really tired.
I want to block that. That's not very nice.
Yeah, you shouldn't be talking about that stuff. I mean, we're just trying to do our stuff here, and it just gets in the way.
Change FanDuel builds here. Yeah, I got the I do have the Nathan Knight on the in FanDuel just because he's power forward eligible, you know.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I don't have any problem with it. I'm gonna redo my FanDuel builds in the very last one because I'm only playing like one big lineup over there. Not really that interested in this. You know, a couple guys like we talked about earlier who are getting kind of looked aside now. Derek White, who you mentioned, and Mike Conley. Both those guys, along with Clarkson, but their ownership might start to slide a little bit with some of this, in lieu of some of this recent news. Especially Conley won't have any ownership, and there is absolutely a path for Conley to put up like not a huge. I don't need a huge game. The 40 plus from him we would take, right? Like it's raw points, and he's gonna. I don't know why his minutes projection is projected so low. Like he's projected to play less minutes without Donovan Mitchell, which is possible.
That's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous.
Doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm going to call BS on the projections, especially in a game that's actually projected to be closer than most of the games that he plays in. I think Conley's an interesting play, and no one seems to be on him. Knight and McGee talking together. No, it depends on the rest of your lineup, Rashad. But I think that's fine. I've got that in some lineups. I do think mixing in some Jalen Smith if you're doing multiple builds is a good way to go. Instead of in your non-McGee lineups. Probably a little too thin to play them together. But, I mean, it got there that one night. They combined for like 75 or something, like one night. Just splitting minutes. Just hard to ask for that one. Let's see. Any other questions? I'm going to have to go in a couple minutes because I do have to build, and I do want to kind of do some research, which I'm trying to do right now about Damian Lillard. Just to see if there's anything we can get an advantage on here.
What about do you have any before you leave? Do you have any insight into the football aside from what we talked about earlier? Or
good question. Unfortunately, they're just about to announce the injury report, and my big thing was which wide receivers are going to be even healthy, and not to mention the quarterback is questionable for New Orleans. So we're going to actually have to figure out what happens. Wait
a minute, the book is questionable.
There was some talk about them going to a Wildcat and not starting him and stuff. And I don't know where it entirely came from, but I saw it a number of places online and heard people talking about it. But I didn't have any confirmation on that. But they'll do their official injury report in the next 20 minutes. Yeah, I don't have – I'm having really a hard time figuring out what the Lillard thing is.
And this is for later in the week, but apparently Garoppolo's thumb is not good.
Garoppolo's not good anyway.
Well, I'm just saying.
No, I'm just kidding around. Yeah, I don't have.
He had a sprained thumb, but there's speculation that's worse. So see how that impacts this. I mean, they're still at home against Houston. It shouldn't make too much of a difference, but they were picking up some. Until this Tennessee game, they're picking up some good momentum.
Yep.
I guess it's just as easy for Trey Lance to hand the ball off to all the running backs and to Deebo Samuel as anybody else, I
suppose. Yeah, exactly. But I'm going to say goodbye, guys, and I'm going to try and I will be in Discord, so just make sure to try and tag me, and I will try to get to as many questions, if not all of them, that I can. I'm going to answer. Let's see. Yeah, I agree exactly, Rashad. I agree exactly with what Brian Brooks just said. That's exactly how I'd put it. Concher is a mild interest at best for me right now, but I mean, it's like one of those things, like one of these guys is going to 10X. He's not the most likely to do it, but he's definitely on the list of guys who could do it. So it's fine. It's not my preferred. I think I prefer actually playing the Suns guy, Jalen Smith, but I think Concher probably, I don't know.
What's the deal with this Jalen Smith play? What is that all about?
He's the other guy who rotates in minutes with
McGee. Okay.
with McGee. He put up 25 the last time this happened. Contra did put up 43. I mean, that was pretty nuts that he had 14 rebounds in that game and put up 43 fantasy points. But Contra, you can go through his totals in general, and like he can play minutes and put up, he can get you there sometimes. He can get hot and he can make threes and all that stuff. But like, it's just it's a little bit of a wildish play, a wild card play for me, especially because Memphis, while they're down bodies, they're pretty deep in general. I'm looking at Memphis's lineup tonight. Like, they have guys they can play. They've got legitimately 10 guys they can play. But if they're going to start Concher, I don't even know that means he's guaranteed the minutes. That's the thing. And it is a back-to-back, so maybe his minutes trend downwards even. It's possible they stay exactly the same and go up. So we're playing a little bit of wild card guessing with some of these guys. That's sort of what we have to do in 2021. But those minutes could easily go. You got Kyle Anderson back now. You've got Brandon Clark. You've got a million other guys who could easily soak up a majority of those minutes. And Contra just feels like a little bit of those chasing plays to me.
All right, so so you have no so we're gonna get the football thing. If you want to chime into Discord with who you like about football, I mean that's
I'll do that.
That's cool. I mean, I'm gonna hang around here. I'm just doing my thing.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be quite as interactive, but
okay. All right. Well, good luck to everybody, and let's get it tonight. I will be in Discord, so just hit me up.
All right. I'm just basically narrating. Yeah, I'm just basically narrating for the rest of my stuff. So I'm updating and I'll tell you what I come across as I come across it. I'm now updating the projections based on the Minnesota news to see which of the Minnesota guys is going to emerge as like the point guard, right? Who's going to be projected at least. Now, I don't think we have the starters yet, but
we're not going to have the starters. They always project Noel, but then he never ends up starting. So we'll see what they do. Oh, here we go. We do have a starting lineup from the Rockets, and it's exactly what it could have been. Unfortunately, you got Nwaba starting, which sort of takes Tice out of play for me. And Josh Christopher, Armani Brooks, Eric Gordon, and Christian Wood. I think all of those starters are extremely viable. I would lean Brooks, Wood, Gordon, Nwaba, Christopher. But they're all completely viable.
Okay.
There's so many guys out right now for that team. So
it is really it's kind of amazing.
Yeah. All right. Good luck, everybody. I'll see you guys soon.
Imagine if this were the case in baseball, if they had to keep dropping pitchers to the due to COVID and keep having to replace them with either relievers or with guys in the minors, and they keep pulling guys up. That'd be pretty interesting. I wonder if that's going to happen. You have to think that by then, this Omicron is will have at least leveled off, if not, I won't say gone away, but you know what I mean. I don't think we're going to see the same type of thing with baseball. But that would be really interesting if they kept similar protocols, and then yet you only have like 5 starting pitchers, right? If you only have 5 starting pitchers, what are you going to do? So I'm still waiting on one source to update the Minnesota guys. So I'm not going to have anything for you there quite yet. Let me just double check this. Yeah, I still have to update one more. So I'll give myself like 5 minutes and then I'll do it. See, I like in the NFL. I gotta figure what's going on with this football thing. Are they saying the quarterback might not even actually be quarterback? Now, that's a big deal because I'm getting a lot of him in my builds. So I may either have to force him out or just change my projection or something if that's a real thing. The first thing I want to do, just so I can at least get my lineups built, I'm gonna run this without one of the sources just so I can get some lineups out there. But it looks as though McLaughlin. God, I'm not feeling well again. If I'm telling you, after all this, if I have freaking COVID, I'm going to lose it. I don't think I do though. And it's in your head now, right? I got a party in January. My wife wants me to cancel. Probably smart. Life is always smarter than me. That is definitely the truth. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to build some lineups. And then I'm going to update the projections. I can't do it in any other order, unfortunately, right now. Sorry about this. I will show you. How about this? I'll show you what I actually build. Hope nobody yells at me. Not necessarily going to do this, but I'll show you what they look like after I build them. And boom. These are going to be the SaberSim built lineups. And I'm not going to necessarily use these, but just to give you an idea based on current projections, what a kind of like an ownership fadey GPP-ish type build would look like. I'll show you. It's probably at 100% Harden. Yeah, 100% Harden. It's getting a lot of this Christopher, McGee, Knight, Little. Yeah, this all makes sense. Definitely all makes sense. I'm going to tweak that, but at least something to live with for now. 100% Josh Christopher is definitely a bit thin, but that's what I'm getting right now. And I answer this question a lot. People ask, do you limit your ownership or something like that? I almost never do that intentionally. If I have a build such that 100%, like my top X lineups, even accounting for randomness, are going to have a particular guy, I mean, I'm just going to roll with it. That's just the way I think about it. Let's put this up over here. Update this. So again, I usually am able to do this. When I do, sometimes I update the projections for you guys before I do my lineups. But at this particular day, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make sure I have my builds first. Sorry. Let me get back to SaberSim. I want to do the FanDuel. FanDuel, I can show you as I'm doing it. FanDuel, boom. Update the new projections. But what am I going to do about that football build? Probably, if I'm smart, which I am not, but if I were smart, I'd probably just X out the quarterbacks. No smart, huh? Lovely. Hate daily fantasy sports. No, I didn't mean to say that. Didn't mean to say that. That was a glitch. I didn't mean to say hate fantasy sports. Currently, I do though. Okay, let's see. I mean, they really had to do that now. I mean, like it's 6:40. Whatever. But then again, he was questionable, so it's not as if, it's not as if a complete shock. Now, I imagine Jaylen Brown is basically a lock. And I think that Bobby might be a little bit upset because he really liked him anyway. Now he's just going to be 1,000,000% owned, as Bobby would say. So let me just let me first change these lineups. I'm going to have to change them all again. Now that what's his name is out. And yes, Pritchard's available. And Pritchard's viable. It's probably the other guy is the Romeo Langford, I think. Maybe get some minutes out of him. First thing I want to do is get Smart out if I actually have him in. and then I will. Just make sure I have no. Do I have smart in here anywhere? Let's see. No, I have none over here. Do I have over here? No, I don't have any of them. That's good. At least I have nobody that's whatever. But I do have to probably. I only have 25% Jaylen Brown. I mean, you just gotta have to play him, right? Shut the story. I gotta look into the football. Naughty Knight or Boston Jr. I don't know Naughty, but I like Knight. Didn't quite get to Boston Jr. So Pritchard, huh? What time is that game? The Celtic game. 7:30? No, it's 8. So I have a little time, but the problem is that there's a lot you want to do in this Houston game. So you have to make a decision on this one. And Lillard's still game time decision. Boy, oh boy, this is some situation. Let me see if and when I can update the Celtic projections. Let me see if I can do this now. Is that possible? Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it. Hold on. Let me see if I can do something. Yes, Pritchard. All right. Good job for this company getting this done. Very quick. But I guess a lot, like Roto Grinders, some of them do have the if-thens. You know, if this guy's out and these are the projections. And that's pretty, I mean, it seems pretty logical that it would do that, but it took them a long time to get that functionality. So here's the challenge. The challenge is to have the Celtic adjusted projections up before lock. Can Sheets, as he refers to himself in the third person, get that done? And get his lineups done in 15 minutes. Well, we're going to try it. I'm sort of a prisoner of the industry here, but let's see. No, all right, these guys are good, so I'll at least be able to get something. I'll at least have a confidence level of 5. Hopefully I'll get it of 10. Okay. Okay, we'll definitely be able to get a confidence level of 5 with these projections. Hoping to get 10. And then I'll post them, and then I will change lineups. And there will be, as I used to say, plenty of time. Let's see these guys. These turkeys, they're going to have anything for me? Probably not. Let's look at these. These guys have been very slow recently. Let's see. Let's see Celtics. Oh, strong. Okay. Just make sure we got the Minnesota stuff. Strong. Okay, we're going to be able to get this done. Now we're going to have confidence level of 7. You know what I like about this part of the live chat is that I'm just literally talking to myself. But that's okay. Time is it? Oh, 6:44. I thought there was going to be some kind of time crunch here. Plenty of time. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's see this. I'll do this. Hold on a minute. Oh, I might have messed something up. We're going to see. Yikes, this is not going to be good if I messed it up. But Check it out. What time is it? 45. Should be okay. And then this. Okay, let's see if this works. No, I don't want that. I want this. I should have a confidence level of 100, which would be amazing if I get this done. All right, so let's see. Close these out. And then let me see what I have here. That looks good. Let's see what I can do. Confidence level 10, sorry. Just don't give me an error and I should be okay. All right, good. I'll even be so kind. I will update the projections on the site before I even do my lineups because I have hashtag plenty of time. I'll even double check. How about that? That's how much time I have. I'm gonna even double check these, make sure they all look good. Nope, no good. God dang it, I knew it. I knew something screwed up. All right, so now we're gonna do it the hard way. That's fine. Maybe FanDuel looks good. Nope. Where did I mess up? That's a good question. I got so greedy. I had it. All right, we're gonna do it the long way. Okay. I'm gonna stop. Now I'm gonna be in freaking overdrive. I'm gonna do it all over again. And I knew it. I knew I messed it up. $6.47. I should be able to do it. Still, just won't have hashtag plenty of time. Let's see. Man, all right, let's try it. I'm definitely gonna win all the money tonight, by the way. Promise you. Just from because I'm actually gonna be able to do this. It's like total, just a quest now. I don't even care what these projections say anymore. I just want to get them done. How about that? Bobby right now must be thinking, Sheets, what the hell are you doing? Seriously. Why don't you just freaking get your lineups in? No one's even listening to you anyway. No one's even paying attention. I don't care. It's just all my own personal quest right now. For all I know, the stream's not even going anymore. We'll see. Still should be able to do it. $49. Okay. Should be able to do it. We're going to try it. What I'll do is I'll probably try to update at the same time I am doing my lineups. Maybe I'll do that. All right, we'll be able to do this. Okay, download. 53. DK3. Can't believe I'm doing this. But it is what it is. DK3. $6.50, no problem. Okay, let's make sure there are no dupes. Okay, there's one dupe there, another dupe here. Pull this up, try one more time. NBA one. Oh, no wonder. Aha. Maybe I didn't mess up the first time. Let's see what we got. Okay, one error. $650 still not even 651. Now it's 651. I'm telling you, I'm like Neo in the Matrix. Everything's like operating real slow motion. Plenty of time. Here comes the big test. Let's see if this looks normal when I pull this up. NBA. Projections look. Oh, beautiful. Good. Excellent. Now we're going to post them online. I'll even give them a note. I'll post in Discord saying it's been updated. And then I'll do my lineups. How about that? Impossible. 651 though, plenty of time. Then I'll even tell you guys what I did. How about that? What's NBA? Okay. We'll go back in here. I'll do this totally live. I don't even want the dark mode. 652. Oh, sweat. DraftKings. All this just so that someone could tell me that Lillard got ruled out, by the way. I know that's coming. Okay. I can't show you exactly the lineups, but I'll tell you an idea of what I have. You know, I do not have, by the way, I don't think I got any Pritchard. Well, that is what it is, I guess. McGee and Knight are my two top plays. All right. Okay, so boom. How much is it? 53. Boom. Boom. And boom. Excellent. Load. I don't know what happened to Mrs. Sheet. She's gonna make me dinner. She disappeared off the face of the earth. Well, in any case, maybe she's napping. Maybe she fell asleep upstairs. Is that what happened? Maybe. Did she tell me to wake her at 6:40? She's gonna be not very happy if that's actually what happened. Okay, I'm gonna change FanDuel. There she comes. I was wondering where Mrs. Sheets was. That's what, that was what I speculated. I hear you. Hold on, I'm almost. I'm still recording. Give me a second. Yeah, I knew it. I had a feeling. Wait, something is in this house is evil. All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna go eat. Then I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna do football in a little bit. So I gotta figure out what's going on with this quarterback situation. And we also have to keep an eye out on Lillard and all of that. But until then, if any of you guys are still there, good luck, everybody. I did not. Oh, I'll answer one question. Grant Williams. No, I didn't get there. Good luck, everybody.